What's going on, boys? Let me just tweet this out. What's good? What's good? We are in a draft from the 2 spot, which feels pretty good. Audio's good, boys. Everything's good. We're gonna go Mac Daddy here. Cam, what's good, brother? How you doing? Night's going good. Thoughts having McDavid, Jack Hughes, JT Miller, and Tavares in the Cats League. I mean, it's pretty good. all those guys are great. Awesome. Okay, cool. The music isn't too loud either. Been kind of adjusting my mic settings after the last stream with Nate. His mic was like 10 times louder than mine. I don't know if that was a tough viewing experience. All right, yeah, that sounds good, man. All right, so we are back. We are on Drafters here, boys. My 78th draft. Yes, I have a problem. I do. I'm addicted to these drafts. We've cooled down on the Mika Zibanejad exposure. It's still a little bit too high at 47%, but we're gonna work towards getting that down. Also, boys, if you follow me on Twitter, TopCheddar Fantasy is joining the stream in like half an hour or so. He has a Twitter account. I don't think he has a YouTube channel, but he does do like streams with Apples and Genos and stuff, and he knows his stuff. So he's gonna come on the stream. We're gonna be talking about everything. Training camp 2, guys. We have training camp news to discuss. Some very interesting training camp news. I'm just looking at my Twitter here. Yeah, Trocheck is power play 1. There's sort of a question of if it was going to be him or Lafreniere. Panarin's injured, so Lafreniere is filling in. But based on the roles, I think Laffy is going to be power play 2. I also think this means that Trocheck might be a pretty big sleeper, especially if your league counts hits. You know, he could be like a 65, 70-point player with elite hits. We're gonna go. I don't mind going Helly here. So yeah, that's one of the news is the news piece for training camp. What's your favorite position to pick from out of the 8 spots in drafters? That's a good question, man. I like. I think getting McDavid or McKinnon is really nice. Although sometimes it's hard to get certain players because you got to wait so long. I also like being around the 5 spot where you can get Makar, because you can get like Makar and then Jack Hughes or maybe Jack Eichel, and that feels pretty good. Having the best defenseman in fantasy hockey on your team. We'll go Darlene here. Jacob, thank you, brother. I don't pay this man. He just knows what's up, guys. Code FIREDUP on Drafters Fantasy Sports. I think the only best ball platform available in Ontario. You guys can do best ball drafts like the $10 NHL Best Ball Championship, which has $10K to the first place team, which is going to be my team. So, you know, you are competing with the very best, but it's pretty fun, boys. Make sure you download the app and sign up with the code. If you're on desktop, the link is in the pinned comments. I believe it's in the description. Yada, yada, yada. You guys know the gist if you've been watching the streams. Mitchell, what is going on? Let's just change the music here. Do you think Jack Hughes is a first-round pick in a 12-man points league? Goals, assists, power play points, shots, blocks, hits. I think he should be. Yeah, I do. I know it might be a hot take. People are pretty mad about him getting injured every single year. I get it. But, you know, he's a guy that could put up like 350 shots and over 100 points. Not many players can do that. Obviously, I'm just looking at the ADP here to give you a proper answer. Yeah, I think out of the players, like I would have Jack Hughes. You could argue Jack Eichel over Hughes in this format with no positions, or if you're in an ESPN league, then yes. But Jack Hughes is center and left wing, and there's so many good centers later on. So, yeah, I don't mind getting Jack Hughes. Like I would rate him at like the 10, 11, 12 pick in a draft in most formats. Hello guys, just arrived. Hellebuck, interesting. Just arrived. Hellebuck, interesting. Are you native English speaker? In Cats League, Kemper or Blackwood when he is back? Ooh. It's so hard to say, man, with goalies. Like, you're asking me to basically predict, like, the lottery numbers. Kemper was so good, but they lose Gavrikov. They add Cody Ceci. Is Cody Ceci going to be in the top 4, or is it going to be Brant Clark? Either or is not great in terms of the, you know, the defensive end of things. We'll go Boldy. I don't know. I'd probably lean Kemper, maybe. Depends on what your Cats count. If it's not saves, it's just goals against average and save percentage. I mean, the Kings still have such a very good defensive system. So, yeah. Ooh. We could go J-Rob. We could go Brat. We'll go J-Rob here. Definitely not going Macklin Celebrini, I'll tell you that. Okay, audio still sounds good. I'm always paranoid with the audio, boys. Okay, Jaden. 4-man keeper points league with Kaprizov, Connor Nylander, and Yossi. I'm loaded in draft picks with 1 first and 3 picks in each round until round 5. What draft strat would you use? Dude, I can't. I don't think I could answer that in like a sentence. Just get the best players available according to your league settings and target the sleepers that you think have value in later rounds. We're going to make a sleeper video, by the way. That's going to be out very soon. Julian, thoughts on Meyer and Hamilton? These are 2 I'm not sure on my team. So I don't like Dougie Hamilton. I think Luke Hughes is going to be power play 1 this year. So yeah, concerned about him. Meyer is interesting, right? You obviously have Stefan Nason out. And he was supposed to be the power play 1 guy. If he was healthy, I would not be thinking, oh, Meyer's going to be power play 1. But yeah, he's out. And in practice, they ran 2 power play 1s. One of them, which is what I would expect, is Mercer net front. And then Hischier bumper, Hughes left side, Brat right circle. They also, halfway after that, they rotated Meyer in and moved him to the right circle, Brat to the bumper, and Hischier net front, which is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Especially because you have Arseny Griciuk on the right circle on the power play on the second unit, who looked really good in that preseason game yesterday. So maybe they move Meyer to power play 1. Like, that's, if he is power play 1 somehow, you know, you're looking at a guy with elite shots, elite hits, 40 goal potential, you know, super underrated, super undervalued. But when Nason comes back, what's going to happen, right? If the powers play clicking, maybe they keep Meyer on. If not, they put Nason back on. And we also don't know how long Nason is out for as well. He has a groin injury. They just said he's going to miss time. So I don't know, guys. It's interesting. You know, I think yeah, his value is really contingent on power play 1, unless you're in a league that counts hits. Oh, dude, of course. Yeah, Andrew, I do that all the time. If when Forsberg... Oh, Tommy. I wanted to get Natchez there so bad with McKinnon. Gosh darn it. Oh, God. Okay. We'll go JT Miller, I guess. I don't want to get Zibanejad again, but now I kind of have to. God, man. Yeah, it's $10 per entry, boys. You can draft up to 150 teams as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing. There's 2,600 spots left. It's filling up, but obviously we still have time to do a bunch of drafts. Shoot, what do I do here? I keep drafting Barkov, but I can't do that anymore. Okay, I guess I'm getting Cider. I don't know. That's okay. How good are Fantrax projections, and are they good enough to just ignore ADP when drafting? I don't know about Fantrax projections. Like, I don't know if you're talking about the video I made today. What I like doing is looking at fantasy points per game and total fantasy points from the years prior. And then that sort of formulates my opinion of like, oh, you know, Brian Rust has been in like the top 30 a month forward, or top 40, top 30 a month forward. It's like, he's going so late. You know, if your league doesn't count plus minus, Brian Rust is a guy that's a huge sleeper. And, you know, when you use Fantrax to see fantasy points per game, you might be able to see that. So, yeah, I don't really trust projections. You know, they might be useful, though. I don't know about Fantrax. Like, I know Apples and Genos have projections, which are pretty good. I haven't taken a look this year. You know, you have, like, Dom from The Athletic. Those are useful, too. So, yeah. Draft next Sunday for my 20-team league. Can't wait. Wow, that's such a big league, man. I've never done a 20-team league. That's got to be a long draft. I hope the picks are 30 seconds and not a minute. What order would you draft Kempe, Keller, or Stützle? Again, this really depends on your league settings. In a category league, I might even have Kempe and Stützle over Keller just because they're hits. But if your league doesn't heavily value hits, then I would go Keller, Stützle, Kempe. Remember when Timo Meier and Svechnikov were second round picks? I remember Timo Meier was pretty high. When was Svechnikov that high? Maybe if you're in a category league or a Banners league or something, then yeah. What range is a safe range to draft Elias Pettersson? I would say like in the where he's going, ADP wise, is pretty fair, like the 60 to 70 range. Like, I don't think he's putting up over 90 points. I think you're going to see 75 to 85 points is my prediction for Elias Pettersson. Oh, man. Okay. My defense. I don't love my defenseman right now, man, but I don't really want to get these guys. I guess I could go Heiskanen. You know what? We'll go Heiskanen. I have like a weird feeling that Heiskanen's going to be power play one, guys. I really do. We're going to find out in the next like 2 days, and I really think it's going to be him now, as I've just used my brain a little bit more. Or maybe they run 2 units because they freaking have Jamie Benn on the first line. It's making me so angry. It's making me so freaking angry, dude. Man, Ovi's just sitting here. But we're going Kempe. Yeah, Jamie Benn on the first line, guys. Duchesne on the third. Welcome back, Pete DeBoer. Well, I didn't know you would return to the team. D-Man, Sack, Werenski, Dolly, and Jones, Pareko, and Schlatts, Heads, Blocks, and Cats. It's pretty darn good, dude. I love getting Seth Jones late, especially if you're in a league with hits. Such good value. Darlene as well. Like, if you're in a Cats league or a league with shots, hits, and blocks, like a points league, like, take Darlene over Quinn Hughes. Right? Obviously, it depends on the value of hits, but, like, Darlene's a freaking dog. Is Jack Laddie your reg? Feels like he's at every draft you do. I mean, he's done 104 drafts, so, yeah. You know, I see him in here a lot. I see all the usual suspects. Tommy Bras, I've been drafting with this guy for like 3 years. I've been doing this for three years, guys. And I freaking love it. Do you still have the website to make automatic? I think the website might still exist. They stopped sponsoring the channel. Maybe they'll sponsor throughout the year. I don't know. I forget what it was called though. So unless I'm being paid, I am not going to promote it. I was browsing people's entries and drafters. Some guy had both McKinnon and McCarr on his team. No freaking shot. Are you serious? No way. No. That happened in the playoffs last year. I swear to God, like, you have to be concerned about collusion there. I don't know how. Maybe it was like the first draft where ADP was really weird. That's the only explanation there. That's so annoying. If I hope there's not more than one team like that. Yeah, Cole Perfetti's fine. I think it depends on your league, man, because his shots are not very good. Hits and blocks are not good. But yeah, he could put up 60 to 70 points, I think. I'll talk about him in a video coming up. I drafted a lot of Marchenko. I feel like I gotta chill. Do I get Dustin Wolf or Ilya Sorokin? Let's go Sorokin, because Dustin Wolf is extremely overrated. I maxed out at 40 drafts. Said the same at 20. Yeah, I remember that, Marty. I remember that, dude. Any new players sneaking up your draft board? I mean, I don't know. Some, yeah. I'm trying to mix my exposures up. I like when we start getting training camp news, that's when things are going to start to really shift for me. Frick. I've drafted so much Kevin Fiala, but I don't care. Oh, I have Tuck though with Darlene. You know what? No, Fiala's just better though. I don't care. Fiala. Okay. What I was saying is, once we get this training camp news come in and we start to see power plays and we start to see lines, that's when guys are going to sneak up my draft list, right? For example, Logan Cooley, not on power play 1. Nick Schmaltz and Barrett Hayden on power play 1. Obviously, it's still early, but I am actually very concerned because I think Barrett Hayden net front makes sense. He's their face-off guy. He's just a good big body to park in front of the net. And then, I mean, I think you should put Cooley in the bumper, but they have Nick Schmaltz there, who's a right-handed player. And it's easier for, like, Keller to pass to Schmaltz and then to pass to Gunther for his one-timers versus Cooley and Keller both being left-handed guys. It kind of makes it more hard. So I kind of get what the coach is thinking, even though it pisses me off. So yeah, Cooley's dropped down my board. That would be one example. Thoughts on Demko, Lankinen stack? It's fine. Yeah, in a points league, I'm not a fan of stacks, but in a category league, sure. I think Canucks, they have a really solid defense, right? Quinn Hughes and what's his face? Philip Hronek, a few other guys. I don't know about Tyler Myers, but yeah, that's fine. Always depends on where you drafted these guys, right? That would that's always my thought process. Thoughts on Coronado should be decent this year. Yeah. I think he's going to be power play 1 in the top 6. I think he's solid. So mad about Cooley. Are we... I didn't see this power play 1 news. I would like to look at that. Yeah, dude. They have not done power play 1 in camp. So the hype is still fine, but I am concerned that I thought he was going to be with Marner and Eichel. So I'm a little less hyped up on Dorofiev. But I wouldn't call like the Hurdle Dorofiev line third line. I think that's more of a second line. If anything, like Carlson is and Stone are line 3, you know? Oh, somebody took freaking Luke Hughes and Noah Dobson. I guess I got to go. You know what? Oh, frick. We'll just go. Oh, Brandon Montour is just better, though. We'll go Brandon Montour. Yeah. So yeah, Mitchell. We'll see what happens with the power play. The big question is it going to be Theodore taking off? Is it going to be Dorofiev taking off, or Mark Stone taking off? It's sort of the biggest power play question this year, and we'll get that news probably tomorrow. Before I answer that question for you, brother, let me get Alex Tuck here. Team's looking pretty nice so far. Looking pretty nice. Okay. Goalies are so scarce and valuable. Last player was selected was actually Connor Ingram. Yeah, it is tough, man, when you have a bunch of league mates, man, and the goalies become much more scarce. And that's why, again, I didn't mention that in my recent video, but that's another thing you could talk about too, in terms of just understanding your league and, you know, trying to take advantage of it and playing the board. That's pretty much it. I want Cooley so much this year, dude. I've been drafting a good amount of Cooley, but like I don't know if he's going to be power play 1 now. So yeah, I mean, it might be maybe next year or in 2 years. I don't know. They're going to have to figure it out at some point. Like what? They're never going to have Cooley on power play 1 because what? Because Schmaltz is a right-handed player. Like you can have Cooley in the bumper. I don't know. Watts' phase is truly an underrated defenseman. I'm trying to decipher what you mean by what you just said, Cole. Barbashev, Kuzmenko, or Leo Carlson for my last forward. Again, I get so frustrated by these questions, and I don't mean to rip on you, Julian, but like, does your league count hits? Because like Barbashev would be the clear cut option if that were the case. So yeah, that's kind of difficult to answer. Hannafin or Jones? Jones. Why would Hannafin? No, Hannafin's like a 35-point defenseman. He's only useful if Theodore goes down, and even if Theodore goes down, they could just put Marner on the point on the power play. So yeah. Do I really? I don't need another goalie, do I, with Hellebuck and Sorokin? We'll go Eriksson to pair with Boldy. Yeah, no worries, Mitchell. I agree, man. I really wanted him with Jack and Marner. But what I was reading is they really like Hurdle with Dorofiev, which is fine. Like if Hurdle's with Dorofiev and we'll get Nichushkin here. That's a great pick here with McKinnon on the same line. But yeah, like I said, if Dorofiev's with Hurdle and power play 1, then he's fine. I still think he can be really good. Cutter above 35 goals. I don't know about that. I think 30 goals is possible, but we got to see the ice time. We got to see power play 1 time. I think Cutter in like a year or 2. I feel like Cutter next year is when like I'm going to be making videos saying like, yeah, draft Cutter, Gauthier. I still think he's a sleeper, but I'm not entirely convinced about this season. But if he hits, man, he'll be like a 250 shot guy, right? Like he's going to be pretty good. So I'll be talking about him in a video coming up very soon. Are either of Philly goalies worth picking up? Goalies do be scarce. In a points league, yeah, I would say so. Like I think Samuel Ersson's going to be the guy. And you know, if you're in a default Yahoo points league where volume matters, then yeah. Yeah, I would take a look at him, but in a category league, no. Ooh. Oh, you're in the ESPN default league. I think I would still go Barbashev, man. Because the hits do the hits do matter. Like even at 0.1, it's the same as shots. Barbashev might have good blocks as well. I'd have to take a look here. ESPN default settings are actually like the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I think I'd go Barbashev. Honestly, it depends on your league settings, Jaden. If your league value shots, hits, and blocks, hold on, let me draft here. Ooh. I'll go fetch here. Hold on, I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. Okay, I have Hellebuck and Sorokin. Do I need a third goalie? Or do I go fifth defenseman? You know what? We'll go with the cord. I don't know if we need 3 goalies there. That's like might be overkill. I just gotta think, do I get a fifth defenseman here or do I get another forward? And this is, I always struggle with this because like in this contest, you assume that like if you're gonna win, if this team's gonna win, like Dolly, Insider, Haskin, and Montour, like they're gonna have to stay healthy. You know, you want to chase upside. You don't want to play it safe. Yeah, that's fair. But like, is Leo Carlson going to be getting a crazy amount of power play time? I don't know. The hits, I think the hits really do matter, man. What I would recommend you doing, man, is watch my video, go on Fantrax, look at the last couple of years, like look at Barbashev, and look at his fantasy points per game compared to some other players. Because I would reckon that with those hits being the same as shots, he would be pretty valuable, man. That's how I do things with specific settings. Like people tell me their settings, but even then, I still need to go and look what that means, you know? Okay. I could go another forward. You know what? Let's just go Jake Wallman. Screw it. I think having some exposure to Jake Wallman is good because I think he's power play 1 if Bouchard goes down. Especially with like Nathan McKinnon as my first pick. Yeah, I don't know. That seems fine. That team is fine. All right, let me answer some questions here, and then we're going to get Ryan, TopCheddar Fantasy, in here. He's going to draft with us. Yeah, Mitchell, we have nothing on Colorado power play either. Although they've been talking about Victor Olofsson being on power play 1, which greatly concerns me. Which means they would have Nature's Bumper, McKinnon left circle, Olsen right circle, and then either Nichushkin, Lehkonen, or Landeskog net front. And if it's Landeskog, then really bad for Nichushkin. I don't know, man. They're going to try things out. What is the website to view last year's fantasy stats? It's called Fantrax. You can make a league and put your own settings and then take a look at years past. Yeah, Cole, man, I know. I get it, though. Like, it is complicated for the average person, right? Hold on, let me see here. Okay, 0 out of 8. Yeah, Braden, it is. It's probably one of the most valuable things you could do. All right, yeah, TopCheddar. Let's get you in here, brother. Let me send you the link. Let me send you the link. Yeah, TopCheddar has done. He's been in here. He's been in the trenches, man. That's why I had to have him on, man. We gotta talk. Takeaways, brother. Dude, league settings, man, they really change things. I couldn't even tell you. I don't even know like if one of those guys have better takeaways than others. But I'd probably go. I've been leaning McDavid recently. All right, let's add Ryan in here. Ryan, what's up, man?
Hey, dude. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. Can you hear me all right? Sounds all good.
Yeah, I am gonna check in a couple minutes. I don't know if you were watching the stream with me and Nate, but his mic was like 10 times louder than mine, so I'll check.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah. So let me just hold on. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. How do I do this? Oh, that's how we do it. All right. So, I wanted to just chat with you a bit about just some puck and,
Yeah, for sure.
talking about some strategy on your end. And also, boys, if you guys are watching, comment below if the audio is good. If anyone is too loud, because I can adjust the mic settings. Let me know. But yeah, I guess first off, like I noticed like on Twitter, are you when did you start doing fantasy hockey? And like, are you writing for Dauber? Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, started playing fantasy hockey, like as soon as I had a computer. So, but
Nice.
started really getting into it and writing 3 years ago and created a true value goalie constructs that Dauber really liked and started actually writing for him. I'm still writing for him a weekly article, but I'll be getting a little more into like betting for
Mm.
writing a weekly betting column on Dauber. But yeah, I've been with Nate now for a bit, doing some Apples and Ginos podcasts and helped him out with the guide. And I do my own projections as well. And you can find those on Twitter, X. Hit me up at TopCheddar Fantasy.
Yeah, it's isn't it like I followed you back here today. What was it like today? It was the Fantasy Cheddar at Fantasy Cheddar
Yeah.
guys on Twitter, or X, but I'm not gonna call it that. That's just stupid. But yeah, let me. I mean, in terms of best ball, I'm curious. Like, how long have you been? Like, how long have you been doing best ball? Because myself, I've been doing best ball like drafters for 3 years now. Did you do the contest last year, or is it this your first year?
Yeah, no, I did the contest last year, but I didn't max out my entries, and I actually joined like as many non-championship contests as I could. So like just those 8-man rooms where you're only against those 8 guys. That way you don't need to have the absolute best out of 5,000. And
Oh, with
I
apples and
did quite.
Ginos, right?
No, so that's a separate one. Drafters, I haven't seen any open up this year, but last year they had them where you could just like join like a $50
Right.
8-man league in
I
there.
did a
So I
couple of
joined as
those. Yeah.
yeah, I joined as many of those as I could and had a lot of success in that. I didn't max out my entries on the championship, but gained some profit. And this year I'm like, no, okay, we're going for it. We're gonna max out these entries and got my spreadsheets going. I'm tracking everything and you know what? Maybe I'll get in that top 5 like you did last year.
Yeah, that was a sweat for sure, man, watching those games. And I had freaking Timo Meyer and Luke Hughes, and they both like Jack was out and Dougie was out, so it kind of worked out perfectly. Um, like what? So how many did you do last year?
Last year, I literally only did 17,
Oh
finished in the
shoot.
money
Okay.
on half of them. So made some good profit. But yeah, I had like, I think 15 of those smaller leagues that were a little more higher stakes and did very well on those.
Yeah, I did. I think I did 115 last year. Like doing 150 is a lot unless you're doing slows, and I haven't been
Yeah.
doing slows. Like, are you doing slows at all, or are you only doing the fast ones?
Yeah, I got into almost all the slows when it first started. And then I was like, damn, as soon as my pick comes up, I got to reevaluate my whole team. And
Yeah,
so lately I've been trying to stick to fast drafts, but yeah, I've been drafting like a madman. I'm at 97 now. What are you at?
I'm at. Let me check. I'm at 78.
Nice.
So
And are
we're on our
you
way.
gonna plan to max out this year?
That's the plan, but like, yeah, it's cutting it close. It's also filling up pretty quick.
Yeah,
But let's also just join this while we keep talking, boys.
yeah, for sure.
If you guys want to draft alongside with us, we just need six more. But I guess my next question would be, who are your top exposures? I think I know one of them because I did watch that video with you and Nate, where you talked about the players that you thought he was wrong on. So I'm assuming Kevin Fiala is one of them. But yeah, tell
Yes.
me who are your most drafted players and what percent are they currently at?
Yeah, you're I'm gonna spill all my secrets right now,
You
but
don't
no, it's
have
good
to. You don't
because
have to give me the exact
no,
percent. You just give me a couple.
no, all good. Yeah, like even all these players, like in my last 50 drafts, I want to try to get away from them. But
Oh God,
yeah,
same,
Kevin
same
Fiala's up
man.
there. Kevin Fiala, I just love his ADP. It's in the 90s, and I've been able to get him past 100 in like a few drafts, and I just can't not pick him there.
Yeah.
Very heavy on Jacob Chikrin where he's going.
Mm,
Really like his goals upside, and that's like the typical defender I would love in this format because when his points get counted, it's because he's scoring goals. So I want those goal scoring defensemen. And I was just catching the end of your draft there, and I heard you talk some yang on my boy Dustin Wolf. I'm
He's your boy.
I'm actually yeah I'm high on Dustin Wolf this year, mostly
Mm,
because of the volume and like in this format, this scoring. You don't need like an amazing goalie. You need a goalie who's going to get maximum starts and
that's
be able
true.
to find those streaks. So I've been getting a lot of Dustin Wolf. I'm liking to take him, in the 70 range. I'm not like reaching for him at his ADP, but if he's falling that one round later, like I'm grabbing him there.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I do like Wolf. Like, I think he could be the new Saros. Like, he kind of fits the similar profile. Like, he actually is like the same like size as Saros as well. But I think the issue I have with him at his price is just like, you have guys what 40 picks later, like Sam Montembeau, or like let me just take a look here at goalies. Yeah, like Lucas Dolstol. I think Lucas Dolstol could be the same as Destin Wolf, right? Like, I think the Ducks could have the same record as the Flames, and they can get the same amount of games. So I think Dolstol is my most drafted goalie, just because I'm always shooting for upside. But yeah, I think Wolf is good. Like, don't get me wrong. If he plays like he did last year and he gets 60 games, because he only got 53 games, I think he's gonna be sick, right? He could be the
I
Saros for sure.
For sure. That's kind of what I haven't projected for. I haven't projected to get 62 starts. Just those backup goalies behind him, Devin Cooley and Ivan Prosvetov. They just gave him a huge contract, so I think they're gonna really trot him out there. And Calgary also has a very low amount of back-to-backs, so just less of an excuse to start those weird backup
You're
goalies.
looking at that too, eh? You're in the
Yep.
trenches.
Well, look at that. We are next to each other. We're
Are
gonna
you
have some
getting are you getting
snipes.
McDavid or McKinnon here? Are you mixing it up, or do you always get one guy out of those two?
It's honestly based on my exposure. So I'm just
True.
checking. Yeah, I have 11 McDavids.
Hmm.
I literally just want to split them up because I have
Yeah, that's
McKinnon
fair. I
ranked
want to do that
higher
too.
in these points, but McKinnon can just go off for 150.
Yeah, I have 9 McKinnons, 11 or 10 McDavids, so pretty split. But I also wanted to mention like the issue that I have, and I've done this every year. I guess because I was successful last year, I don't think twice about it, but it could really burn me. Is my exposure is super high to certain players. So, like I talked to Nate about this, he is way more conservative and way more intelligent about what he's doing. Like he keeps exposure under 30%. I have 47% Mika Zibanejad.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't know if
listen,
that's smart, but if it
at
hits,
those ADPs, like those are the types of players where it's very likely he'll return value there. So I
yeah,
wouldn't feel too bad about that. Like I would try to limit it to 40%, but
I'm
it's
doing
like
that now.
the yeah, it's like the first like maybe the first 10 rounds where I would be really limiting my exposure to maybe 35%.
Yeah, exactly. It's like even if Zibanejad goes down, he's not going to tank every team. It would be different if I had like 45% freaking, you know, Roman Yossi or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the only thing I wish I did is in some of these early drafts, I was pretty like laser focused on getting certain players because you see value and you're just like, what am I doing? I can't not take this guy. And you don't think about a potential like injury or whatever. So like my early drafts, I sort of didn't mix it up enough. So that might bite me in the butt.
Well, you got
But
like another what 70 drafts to do to mix it up.
yeah, but my issue is what I'll do is like when I mix it up, I'll mix it up completely. So I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to draft players that I don't draft throughout the entire one. Where it's like, no, you probably don't want to do that. You want to mix them in. Yeah, but in terms of like for me as a Benajad, I think is just the best value on pretty much every platform, not just best ball. What are your thoughts on Zibanejad?
Yeah, I mean, I got him having a bit of a bounce back. He worries me a bit because his shots and like shot rates went down, but you know,
I'm
New
sorry,
York,
I
like
had to do
their
that to you.
power play. No, all good, all good. It's hard to at this spot. You're kind of just like forced into players, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah, sorry,
But yeah,
continue.
I'm liking Zibanejad this year. I'll let you know, like, because I do in-depth projections on like every player. So
Yeah, what's your
for
projections for
Mika,
him?
yeah, I got him getting 70 points. So at his ADP, that's great value. I do have his shots down at just 199, but 70 points is great.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think with him, there's an upside case for more. You know, if I think if you just look at his line the last couple of years, like with Kreider, Kreider and Smith, I don't know who else it was like 2 years ago. Like that's tough. Like being the center on that line and having those defensive responsibilities. And now you got JT Miller as a center, if that's the line they run. And
Yeah, I
he
think
was
that's going to be
really good
a
last
nice
year.
all strength duo, just like he had with Kreider in years past, where shorthanded they'll probably play together, even strength and power
Yep.
play.
Yeah, and I think I was looking at the older lines too when Zibanejad was really popping off, and uh, he was like on a line with Panarin and Buchnevich for a lot of those. You know, like this is his best line in like 4 years.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you?
like my 70 point projection, like that's pretty baseline of a median range of outcomes where I could definitely see over a point per game, and I mean if he's does what he does last year, that's his floor.
Is there any upside players that you really like as well, like in that range? Because for me, Verhage and Nichushkin are also guys that I need to stop clicking on, but they feel like those type of players.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting a lot of who do I got down there? I mean, I love Adam Fantilli this year.
Mm.
Um, Dorofeyev, huge upside pick there.
Yeah, you saw he's
And
not line one though, eh?
yeah, that's fine. They'll move things around. I'm not overreacting too much to these first few days of camp.
Oh yeah,
But
and what about Paterka? I know that was another guy that you disagree with Nate on because I'm on Nate's train with that. I don't see him as power play one at all. I like, and I feel like in camp, I know it's early, but that what we've seen sort of signals to that too.
yeah, I mean, it's Yeah, that one's a little more worrisome because you had
Yeah.
both Helynt and Schmaltz on the top power play, and I thought those two spots would be truly empty, but they're clearly thinking something different right now. So it's a little more worrisome for me.
You kind of sound like you're underwater. Like something maybe got unplugged or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, gosh darn it! I didn't think you were gonna take both defensemen there. That's. Can you keep talking? Sorry, let me just because
Yeah.
I think.
How do I sound?
Okay, that's better. That's
Okay.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Uh, oh
Yeah. I mean, I
shoot.
had Tage and Fox in my queue, so you took Tage. I had to scramble. And
I was hoping I was gonna get Fox or Sanderson, but I'll take Morrissey. I haven't got a lot of Morrissey.
nice.
Yeah, so we were talking about the Utah power play. Yeah, I just think for me it was always going to be either Cooley or Hayden or Schmaltz and Hayden. I just don't see
So you
Paterka on there.
you had you have Hayton staying there all season? Is that in
No,
your
sorry, I
head?
meant it was either there was three options. It was either going to be Cooley and Schmaltz, or Cooley and Hayden, or Schmaltz and Hayden. Right? I didn't really consider a power play without Logan Cooley just because he's so talented. But I just know with the faceoffs that was going to be an issue, and they did
Yeah.
that a lot last year, right? Like they just kept going back and forth. But I think the issue is as well as like they talked about the lefties. Did you see that quote?
No.
So like he was saying that there's an issue with having a lot of lefties on the power play. So like Cooley's a lefty, Sergachev's a lefty, Keller's a lefty, and I think Barrett Hayden's a lefty as well. And I think what
Circa.
they're thinking, yeah, is Paterka a lefty too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think their issue is like if you want to feed Gunther one timers, it's kind of easier like Keller as a left-handed player, pass to Schmaltz who's a right-handed player, pass to Gunther who's a right-handed player. Versus it's harder to connect with Cooley and Keller. So like I was hearing like I was pissed at first and I was like screw this coach, but like it does make sense. But Cooley sort of becomes like a 50 to 65 point player. Like his upside's kind of hampered.
No, I think I do think there's going to be a lot of movement on that top power play in season. So again, anything they start with any team, it always moves around. There's always injuries as well. So in like when I project power play time, if I'm doing the top five, I'm not projecting them all to get 3.5 minutes and then everyone else to get like 1.5 to 2.5 minutes. There's a little bit of mixing that goes on. So I do have Cooley as like the sixth projected player in terms of power play time on ice, getting like 2.5 minutes, and I think he can still reach that if he doesn't start there. That's a really nice Nietzsche's pick at
I
47. I
know
love
it's
that.
nice. It's nice getting McKinnon and Natchez there.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
Great.
Natchez?
Oh, I'm super high on Natchez. If these weren't the ADPs, I would probably be drafting Natchez in the fourth round and on drafters, to be
Wow,
honest. Yeah.
wow. Yeah, I like Natchez as well. I think I'll take a look at my exposure here. I've 16% Natchez, decently high.
I think I'm up at like 35.
Wow. That's like my Barkov exposure. And I like he's just sitting here right now. Feels hard not to click him with this range of Nick Suzuki.
Yeah, I considered him there.
I don't care. I'll go. Yeah, Barkov is like one of my favorite values here. Like this is a if you look at this range, like Barkov's really the only guy that's been a consistent over point per game player for the last like 7 years.
Yeah, the only issue I have with Barkov is like in a standard league, I'll ignore this because we have like IR plus, but he
There's
hasn't
so
played a
yeah.
full season in like 7 years. His games played are like 67, 73, 68, 67, 50, 66. And in this range, like I want these guys having an opportunity to get their points counted every single week.
I know.
And it's just like it's tough. I know why Barkov is dropping there, and it's his injury history.
Yeah, he's at
If he
34%
plays if he
for
plays a
me.
full season, like that's crazy value.
Yeah, he was also one of my most drafted players last year, but he got injured, and he wasn't that good, really. He's been better. I don't know if you saw what he said. Did you see what he said about his off-season training?
No, Barkov?
Yeah, he was talking about last summer. He was like, I didn't really train that hard. He's like, this summer I really trained because I wanted to like have a better point production, pretty much. I was like,
Interesting.
I like this out of that, Markov.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think also I wanted to say about Natchez is like, yeah, the upside case is pretty big. Going from 17 minutes on Carolina to 21 minutes on Colorado, going from Jesperi Kotkaniemi to Nathan MacKinnon, like that's a pretty
Yeah.
big upgrade.
I think like the total ceiling case and floor on the other side, but Nietzsche's and Rantanen, they could be switching values here. Like
Yeah,
like the total ceiling for Nietzsche's is 100 points. I think it's possible in the McKinnon if he gets the Rantanen treatment alongside McKinnon. I'm not saying that'll happen. I'm
yeah.
projecting
I don't know
for
about 100, but I guess it's
87.
possible. I think
Yeah, I mean,
85 points is realistic, which is really good.
yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm expecting. And
Yeah.
all these ceiling cases, you're thinking, okay, what exactly is going to happen? High shooting, lucky shooting percentage, lucky on ice shooting percentage. Things are just bouncing the right way, and that's where all these like crazy ceilings. That's how they occur.
Yeah. Are you drafting Ovechkin a lot? He's dropping quite a bit.
Yeah, no, I'm only getting him when he falls. I would say like in the 70s. I'm lower on Ovi this year. He doesn't have that record to chase anymore, um,
I'm gonna get your
and a
boy
lot of
here.
things. Oh, nice. A lot,
Yeah,
a lot of things went right for Washington last year, and I think they're not gonna find the same luck.
yeah, for sure. Dude, I didn't even realize I was gonna try to get Seth Jones at Barkov. Seth Jones goes at 53. That's I guess that's good. Are you a Jones fan? Are you a Jones guy?
Not at his ADP. Like I love it. He's just I have his blocks going down on Florida. That's what happened to him last year, and um, just in my rankings, like I have a whole bunch of D above him in that range, so I haven't been able to get a lot of Seth Jones.
Yeah, I have some. Like it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm starting to fade defensemen, um, early. Typically, I go pretty high defenseman, and we've sort of seen defensemen get higher and higher. That happened last year too. Just because it's not, there's no hits, right? So there's only so many defensemen that are top tier. But I think Jones is much better in a redraft. Like if you look at his Yahoo ADP, I think it's like 100.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, happy to take Jones. Again, my focus lately has just been drafters ADPs. Like I've been doing
Yeah,
drafts every day, and it's like you got to
same.
remind yourself, oh yeah, we got Yahoo stuff, we got Fantrax stuff. I got a whole bunch of drafts coming up like in the coming weeks. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way because like I make content as well, right? So it's like
Yeah,
I'm so focused on best ball, but most people that watch my videos are, in a redraft with their friends. Um,
right.
so I'm trying to mix in both.
Yeah, for
I,
sure.
I, I wanted to ask you because you mentioned Adam Fantilli. So this is
Yes.
another player I just have major concerns about because I don't think he's going to be power play one. I guess he could be power play one over Ken Johnson though. Like, what's your take on him?
Yeah, I mean, he when Monahan was injured and when Jenner was injured, he was like shot up to that top center position and counted on in those minutes, and he proved that he could be that guy. And he's still a young guy. I don't know if they'll uh, need to count on him like that. They have Monahan, they have Jenner, and maybe they're both healthy this year, so that'll limit Fantilli's upside for sure. But I just think he has so much finishing talent that like he could have a high shooting percentage still. And I have him taking more shots this year, getting a bit more minutes at even strength. And yeah, I do have him mixing in on the power play a little bit, um, in front of Kent Johnson, maybe even in front of Boone Jenner. I just think he's too talented to keep off.
Yeah, I mean, you make some good points. I think the power play one time needs to be there. Um, but yeah, just one injury away, and then he's pretty freaking good. A lot of people compare
And
him to like Eichel as well.
yeah, I mean, well, Eichel, like, I think Fantilli, to be honest, has a more accurate or efficient shot than Eichel. Eichel's just like he chucks the puck. He
Yeah,
changed that last year a little bit. You know, he always when he was
which
young, he would just like shoot, shoot, shoot. Where
I hated it
Fantilli,
last year though, because Eichel
yeah,
had like was on pace for like 400 shots the year prior. It was insane.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I hated it too. I had Eichel like a 40 plus goal bet that I was not
Oh
able to hit,
jeez.
even though he got to like 90 points.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Question for you. Are you like at this point in the draft looking at your team and being like, okay, does this team look like teams that I've drafted in the past? And how can I differentiate that? Is that going through your head as I try to as I distract you away from your pick a little bit?
No, I mean that's a great question. I should be doing that. I'm starting to do that more. And once you get to sort of where I'm at, where I'm almost at 80 drafts, I think yeah, I got to start doing that. I'll start looking at like I'll go search my team for like a McKinnon team and see all my McKinnon starts. It's like did I do or like McDavid? It's like how many times did I go McDavid, Martin, or Dahlin? Like I shouldn't just keep doing that unless I think that's the nuts, which it's probably not. Um, so yeah, I should start doing that. Also, sick value on Blackwood there. I haven't been drafting a lot of Blackwood, but he's falling so far.
Yeah, I mean, this is like I'm very happy to get him here. I wasn't able to get a lot of Blackwood early because his ADP was just too high for me, and little injury scare that puts his ADP 30 picks lower, and very happy with that. I think he'll start the season. He's always had a little bit of injury risk, and so even before this little tweak, he had injury risk, and now people are just reminded of it.
Yeah, for sure. On one of the best teams in the NHL, should be getting a lot of volume. I think, like you mentioned, like the mixing up exposures. Like I kind of get to this range where I see Dobson and I see Lacombe, and I always end up just clicking Montour or Riley there. Um, and I probably should mix in some of those guys, but like if Riley gets injured, that's going to suck. He's one of my most drafted defensemen. Do you like? What are your thoughts on some of these late defensemen? Who are the guys that you like and don't like?
Yeah, I mean, I like Riley. He's getting shot up a little bit in his ADP, just
He
like
is, yeah,
because of confirmation of that power play one that we all kind of knew.
yeah.
I like Riley. I like really like Vince Dunn. So I have been
Mm,
waiting in this range to get a lot of Vince Dunn in like the 110 range. Because at this point, I I I have Vince Dunn ranked higher than like Lacombe, even McAvoy, even Heiskanen, um, and John Carlson. So I'll wait a little bit and try to get some Vince Dunn if he goes late. But yeah, I also really like Riley. But in my opinion, I'm trying to get him in the 90s
yeah,
instead of the 80s.
yeah.
That's
I
the
haven't.
thing.
I've
It's like
drafted some
what.
Vince Dunn. You
Yeah, it's
know,
like once you've been in so many drafts and seen like one draft where Morgan Riley goes at like 110, you're like, what? Why did I draft Morgan Riley at like
I know.
85? But you can't really uh, have that change too much.
Do you like Dunn more than Montour?
Um, I have them like neck and neck in terms of my projections. So
Really?
Montour, like I would take Montour here. I wouldn't take Dunn here. If you don't take, but actually, I have my four D. I'm not taking another D. I'm ignoring D at the moment.
Right. I just like the shot volume with Montour and the goals.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a reason I love drafting him because when he gets his points counted, it's because he's scoring goals all that week. Nice.
this is another question for you. Are you going 5 defensemen or 4 defensemen?
I'm definitely mixing it up. This team right now, I'm doing 4 defensemen because I prioritize D early.
Right.
I got like Darlene, Fox, Anderson, Harley, so I don't think I need a fifth, but I think the default is definitely 5D, and you need a good reason to alter from that.
Yeah, I think I'm going 4D a lot just because I tend to stack up on defensemen. Um, but yeah, if I kind of am in this range with like Eric Carlson, I feel like I need a 50.
Yeah.
Zibanejad's just sitting here, man.
So
I can't take him here.
yeah, you got see. This is where I think it's healthy to like look at those large exposures and be
I
like,
know.
okay, if Zibanejad comes up to me at 100, I'm gonna say no. But then if he comes up to me at like 110, that's when you say yes. And that actually I've been able to get a few of my players way later because I've been trying to pick less of them, and then they just keep falling to me like around later, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm the one who's pushing up their ADP, so let's lay off a little bit.
Yeah, I think as well. Like I'm making a lot of content talking about Zibanejad, and he's going higher and higher and higher. So like, you know, yeah, I don't know. It's difficult when he's sitting there.
Mhm.
Um,
In terms of the 5D versus 4D, I actually did like a little bit of an analysis right before the contest started, where it was really annoying getting the data, but I manually got data on the top 69 teams in the contest last year, and out of those 69, 49 teams were 10 forwards, 5D, 3 goalies. And it's very
mm,
hard because I don't have the whole data set. I would love to compare that
exactly. Yeah.
proportion to everyone. But just in the top 69 teams, there were only 11 teams with 40, 11 forwards, 3 goalies, which was
One of
really
those
interesting.
were
Your
mine, I
team,
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
your team had that, and the winner actually had just 2 goalies, which was interesting as well.
Yeah,
But
Shesterkin and Hellebuck.
it really worked out for him, where Shesterkin was counted most weeks, and like with the weeks he wasn't counted, like that was just happened to be Shesterkin's greatest weeks. So he lucked into that, I think.
Yeah. I sometimes I do 2 goalies, but I feel like 3 goalies is the wise option, depending on, how good my goalies are. But I was talking to Nate about this as well. We had the same conversation. It would be wise to know, like, out of all the teams, how many teams drafted 5 defensemen versus 4. Because he made the point that, yeah, it's like, what if everyone just thought 5 defensemen was the right call, not that it actually is the optimal play? And also, like, I don't know how you feel about Devin Taves, but I think he might be one of my most drafted defensemen because if I'm going 5D, like, he's just sitting there at pick 130. This is a guy who has like 50 points in the bag in a lot of years. Are you drafting Devin Taves? 'Cause I feel like he's sick value.
Yeah, I mean, in the last round, I'm drafting him on my McCarr teams and McKinnon teams for sure. But I wouldn't say he's one of my like higher exposure players because I am strictly drafting him on those McKinnon and McCarr teams.
Right. Right. Oh, this is another guy I'm drafting too much of, but I have Barkov, so you know what? Screw it. Well, that's another player I could ask you about. Matthew Kachuk.
Yeah,
Do you have any
I have
exposure to him?
I have zero exposure to Kachuk at the
Wow.
moment. I just if he misses half the season, that's it's just not gonna return value. I don't think he's gonna be on any winning teams if he misses half the season.
Yeah, that's true. But if you luck into like having some really good players in the first half and then Kachuk comes back at pick 111,
Yeah, I
uh,
mean
you know,
it's really just how much time is he gonna miss? And I do think half the season is too long to return positive value here.
yeah, that's true.
Like
That's true.
in that like analysis I did, I looked at the players like how many weeks their points were actually counted on those teams. So you had like the very best player drafted, Werenski. He was counted in 20 out of the 25 weeks, but like all the other great players, they were only counted like 13 weeks. Like you had Hagel was an amazing pick, Tage was a great pick, Forsberg, Boldy, Panarin, they were counted 13 weeks out of the 25. So just about half. So if you have Matthew Tkachuk coming in on your team at the halfway point, he might be only counted for like 6 or 7 of your weeks, and you just have that hole there that wasn't filled in the first half. So I don't have any Matt Tkachuk. If he drops a little further, maybe the last round on my Florida teams, I might do it. But yeah, I just can't. I can't do it.
Yeah, I have 9% Tkachuk, which feels like too much. But I think I'm gonna, if I can get down to like 5%, it's worth it. I'm only taking him if he falls like 20 picks. But yeah, I mean, you're making some good points here. Might have convinced me fully.
Don't let me. Don't
and
let me
the audience too.
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe. Yeah, if you want to leave Matthew Tkachuk for the last round, maybe I'll start taking him there.
Yeah. But I guess, hey, there is a maybe he comes back in December, right? That is
right.
At least they said at least to December. So maybe that happens, and then he misses what, a month and a half.
Yeah. There's just these are the what ifs that it's risky. It's a risky pick that could make a winning team a top 20 team. You know.
Yeah, that's true. I guess another player as well is Zach Hyman.
Yeah, that's he's in my queue. So if you want to take him, go for it. But I was like, yeah, at this price, 128.
I don't think I could take Hyman and Tkachuk, so I'll let you pair him with McDavid here.
Yeah, there you go.
I have Wolf and Hellebuck. That's a question as well. Do I just stick with those two?
I've definitely drafted a few teams with just those two. I really like that combo.
I think if I have Matthew Tkachuk, I might want to get another forward here.
Yeah.
Nice. Got the new Hyman stack with McDavid.
We'll get that line.
Yeah, hopefully he's playing on that line though. You know, I don't know what the lines are running in camp. Do you know what they are? The even strength lines?
I haven't seen any get posted yet, and I mean, like with Hyman out, we're not gonna really see.
Oh, true. Yeah.
But you bring up Wolf Hellebuck. Another little thing that I have right now is I created a max game week, like matrix, I guess, where I look at how many weeks each team plays the maximum amount of games possible. So 4 in most weeks, but some of those special weeks it's like 7, and then the last week it's 6. And I look at how those teams overlap. But looking at Winnipeg and Calgary, they overlap their max game weeks more than any other team. So if you're going to go 2 goalies with Hellebuck, I don't think Wolf is the combo, because when Hellebuck has his 3 game weeks or 2 game weeks, Wolf also has his 3 game weeks.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I
think Nate was telling me about this. I was talking to him. You made that himself? You made that yourself, or did he make one too?
So 18 skaters. Have you heard of 18 skaters?
Yeah.
He made a little bit of a matrix. I went a different way and kind of categorized those max game weeks. He just looked at it continuously. So I'm using a little bit of different thing and created a tool that I'm using. So I input the team I draft, and it spits out, the numbers of, like, right now I could prioritize a San Jose player or a Utah player, but yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, that makes things tricky, because I have Matthew Tkachuk, and it's like, do I get 11 forwards, which covers that base, or like how many weeks do they play 2 games overlapping?
Not much. The 2 games
twice, right?
Yeah, the 2 games is not much. There's only 2 weeks where they both play 2 games, but when they both
That's a
when
lot,
one
though.
plays 4 games, the other tends to play 4 games as well.
Interesting. Well, there is a
Yes.
goalie here that I don't know why he's fallen this far. Are you seeing this?
Uh, oh, is this the last round? This is the last round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never seen Bennington fall 40 picks.
I've seen him in the last round.
Interesting. Yeah, I think he could be pretty good if the Blues play anything like they did under Jim Montgomery, and he's getting the volume. Like, he might actually be pretty solid.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about is the the Olympics. And like, are they gonna rest
Right.
him? Are they gonna be like, this is Canada's guy? So um,
Ooh, that's a good
I would be
point.
afraid that Hofer gets more starts than he did last year. Uh, and yeah, I'm a little scared of taking Binner.
Interesting. Yeah. Gosh, I got to look at my Bennington exposure now. You're scaring me.
Don't let me scare you too much.
13%. Are you down to do another draft?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Join this. There's only 4 spots left, so.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. Now, I wanted to ask you about players that you absolutely hate to draft. I just made a video recently about my do not draft players. It depends on your league settings, of course, when I talked about some of these guys. But one of them, and I find this to be extremely egregious on drafters and also underdog and others, is Macklin Celebrini. Do you like Macklin Celebrini at his price? Because I think it's insane that he is going as the 29 player off the board.
No, I hate him at his price, but I have forced myself into getting some exposure to him because there is that possibility that he just takes another insane step and, has a killer season like 90 points. And that's where he will return value where he's being drafted. But I don't project that to happen, but
Yeah,
I want some exposure to him. So when I
I
do
do as
draft him,
well, but
I don't like drafting him, but I've forced myself into it a little bit.
yeah, I just think like if he falls, I'll take a look. But like
Yeah,
Clayton
I've only
Keller, Tage Thompson, Jason Robertson, Jesper Bratt, Martin H is going after him, Alexander Barkov going 23 picks later.
yeah.
It feels like terrible to click him at his price.
Yeah, my ADP for him is 35 and a half. So only when he's dropping is when I'm drafting him.
You don't have to share this, but what's your biggest discrepancy in ADP? Your own ADP versus drafters?
Like my ranking
Yeah, your
or my
ranking.
drafted ADP.
Oh, you're saying sorry. When you say your ADP, you're looking at your exposures.
Yes, like the teams
Okay.
that I've drafted him, I've gotten him 35 and a half.
I thought you made your own rankings. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, I do, and I have those uploaded. Celebrini's way down there, so I had to scroll to get him. But
Where is he at in yours? Like 60, 70?
um,
Even like Robert Thomas is going 43 picks later than Celebrini. Um, he's one of my most drafted players, actually.
yeah,
I'll take Leon here, my boy.
okay, I'll take Makar at 6, like that.
Oh my God, what am I doing? I thought McCarr went off.
uh,
Well, you're welcome.
yeah, thank you. No, so I have Celebrini at 37 actually, so not too bad, but definitely not taking him in the 20s.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, I draft McCarr quite a bit. He actually have 20% exposure to McCarr, so maybe this is a good thing. Um, I just
Yeah,
feel
I
like,
was. Sorry, go for it.
yeah, I was just gonna say like back. Obviously, ADP is shifted a little bit, but when I knew I could get Mika Zibanejad at like 125 or like some of these other guys, it's just like why don't I get the best defenseman possible and then just get the sleepers?
Yeah.
Becoming a little bit more difficult to do that. Um, but yeah, I mean, what were you gonna say about McCarr? Do you like him as well?
Yeah, I think in the early drafts, I was drafting him at 4 and at 5, and even some drafts at 3. Um, but that forced me into a lot of 2D right away. teams where I was like, oh, Werenski and Hughes are both here at like the 13, 14 spot, and I just, I have to take them there. And then I got like 5 or 6 teams where I have 2 elite D first, and so that has shifted me to waiting on Makar a bit, not reaching, and being able to get Hughes or Eichel with him.
Yeah, it feels pretty good when you start with Makar and Hughes, or Makar and Eichel. It doesn't feel as good when you start with Makar, Rantanen.
Rantanen, to be honest, zero exposure to Rantanen at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I just made a video at my Do Not Draft video, and he was in the thumbnail. So I tend to agree with you on that.
Yeah. I've gotten a bit of heat. Not too much heat. Like, I think it's reasonable that he's going to go way down from like over 100 points. But I think that he won't reach 90 points even, and he's being drafted in the first round a lot. So. Or second round on drafters, and I still think that's too early for him.
Yeah, like I recognize the upside case. Obviously, it's early, but Jamie Benn on the first line really pisses me off. Yeah. Like, who knows what they're going to do with this power play? Like, there is a chance they do a 1A, 1B power play. I don't think it's going to happen because you have elite guys on there, but who knows? They're going to give more power play time to the second unit regardless, compared to a team like Colorado, right? So that's one thing. And I guess the other thing I would say is like
really split it last year, right?
He did, yeah. Well, there's games where the second unit was getting more than the first, and I don't blame him for doing this because the second unit was playing better than the first for like a good portion of the season. But yeah, I think what's crazy is he's literally going almost at the same price. Like if you're looking at redraft, is Yahoo ADP's 10. He's going at the same price as he was playing with McKinnon, getting 23 minutes a night, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? Like, he could get 19 minutes. Like, that's a possibility, and that would just, I don't know, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Okay. Hellebuck's kind of fell here. I get Panarin a lot in this range. I feel like he's pretty good value. Yeah. Do you feel the same?
I'm taking Panarin here. I was debating between Panarin and
your team's
Panarin
looking nice.
Yeah,
this might be the winning team right here.
I'm just looking at my Makar Hughes teams. I have 3 prior, and I have 1 with Hellebuck already. So I was hoping that you left me Panarin.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
WM Animation says you rock. So there you go.
Thank you.
I think one other thing I was going to say. Oh yeah, was there any other players that you really don't like drafting? Rantanen's one of them. Celebrini. Who else? For me, Nick Suzuki's one of them.
Oh yeah, I can't get Suzuki at his ADP right now.
No,
it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, he did. What did he get? 89 points last year, but I have him and Montreal regressing a little bit, and I think I got him projected for 80 points. So, just in that range, I hate drafting him there.
Yeah, he's going high on a lot of platforms. I don't really get it, especially like Yahoo. It's like he's a pure C. In this format, he gets away with it, right? Like he's on the same level playing field as the rest. But when I scroll down the ADP, like, should Robert Thomas be going 30 picks later than Nick Suzuki? Like, in what world is that accurate?
Yeah, Thomas, like, he's a great pick. It's just like he doesn't shoot, so right. But I think that's fine because his spike weeks that are going to get counted, it's going to be all points, and like then you have maybe a more volume shooter in who do we have? Not Tuck. Let's say Kyrou. Kyrou, I don't think is as good a pick because he will get shots, but maybe he'll get a point per game, a bunch of shots, and that's not really such a spike. Where Rob Thomas, his spike weeks, he's going to get 2 points per game that week, and it's going to crush it for you.
Yeah. If you look at some of Thomas's game logs, Like he has a big. You'll just have like 4 assists in a game and then follow it up with 3 points.
Yeah.
That's an interesting team as well. Like with Kyrou, his ice time went down considerably with Jim Montgomery. He's kind of in the doghouse. Power play 2. Like Jimmy Snuggerud was power play 1 over Kyrou in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what that power play does. Do you have any thoughts on what they're going to do with that first unit?
Yeah, like I'm worried they're gonna split the power
Mm,
play
yeah.
like last year. Especially like they had Kyrou on that second unit, but that second unit was getting like 45% of the ice time. So I'm worried that they're going to do that again, and that has me a little more tame on all St. Louis guys, including Rob Thomas. I think if they run like 75% power play share for the top power play, that's a different story. But I'm a little more conservative there.
Yeah. I think as well, like last year they split the power play and he still put up like what 90 points or whatever, like his pace.
Yeah,
So I'm not too overly concerned. But yeah, like I said, I think my exposure to Thomas is like 35%, which
true.
feels a little
Yeah,
bit
just
overweight.
looking through these players, like I have no Connor Bedard. So
I
do
have
you have
two.
Connor Bedard's?
I have 2 Bedard shares just in the
Okay.
last 2 days because I'm like, what if I saw a clip? You know what? It's kind of influenced by a clip I saw yesterday. He was skating real nice. Like that's kind of a big knock on him is his speed. But he looked really fast, and I was like, wait, what if he actually is him? And what if he puts up 90 points?
Yeah.
But yeah, I tend to agree with you. Like, what did they do in the offseason? They added Andre Burakovsky. That's pretty much it. So yeah,
Yeah.
not
So
a fan of him.
if you're banking on Bedard at the 60th pick, like it's all gonna have to come from him. He's gonna just have to take a huge developmental step, which is totally possible. But like I think it's more likely more likely he just is like a 70-point player this year until Chicago gets better as a team.
Yeah, you also can't stack him with anyone.
Yeah.
What's your view on stacking? Do you think it's a very important thing in this type of format?
I think at least mini stacks, like of at least two players, like a duo from each team. I think that is super important. But um, I'm I'm not fully convinced in like let's say a four-person stack on a team. Um, I think that limits the amount of weeks you can really cover because
Right.
with a four-person stack, it has to be that Tampa Bay stack, and Tampa Bay has to be the best offense in the league for you to win. Which, the winning team, it might happen like that. But I was going through a few of the teams from last year, and there's definitely stacking. But I think a lot of it was mini stacks. Actually, your team, it was one of the few that had three. It was like a 3-3-3, I think.
Yeah.
Like Detroit, New Jersey, and another team. But a lot of the teams
The
surrounding
stars.
Stars, yeah. A lot of the teams around you, like there were a lot of mini stacks, like a lot of just duos, and really like that. But I think, yeah, if you're going for like 4 or 5 players, that could probably harm you a little more.
Yeah, I typically don't do 4. Although sometimes like I might have done like 4 on New Jersey. Like I paired Timo with Nico and then Jack with Jesper Bratt because like those guys could have big weeks separate from each other just because they play on different lines.
Yeah,
Shoot, Uyghur's a guy I haven't drafted once, maybe once or twice. I've taken him.
yeah. Again, I'm only drafting him when he falls like here, but there is someone else that I know you. I haven't seen you draft in any of my drafts. Are you low on Brandon Hagel?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
very low on Brandon Hagel at this price. I am. I mean, in this format where power play points are decently valued, I don't see him on power play 1. Or maybe he is. Like I don't have a crystal ball, but I think when you're putting Darren Radish on power play 1 over him, you got to think to yourself, is he good in the power play? Do they want him on there? Do they want a left-hand shot in the left circle? Bjorkstrand has a right-hand shot. Are they going to put him on there? I personally think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna find that out in a day or two, right? When we see the camp. I'm assuming you're about to tell me you're a big fan. What's your case with Hagel? Especially, I will say as well, spike weeks, right? Is Hagel going to have huge spike weeks, or is he going to put up a point, every game?
Yeah. So I think Hagel can definitely have those spike weeks. For me, this range is where I like Hagel. I do have him projected for 84 points, which is like amazing and probably higher than most people would think. I'll take week here at 59. But yeah, like Hagel is an even strength monster, and he's not shunned from playing with Kucherov and or Point and or
True.
Gensel. They're like, they definitely do have that first line. That first line is what it is, and that's how it's going to start. But I think Hagel will find his way on there at times. I think he's just such a dominant player at even strength that he's not going to just be left on line two and at like a shutdown role all season. So I do have them, him getting a little exposure to them at even strength, and I do have him getting some time on the power play, less than the other top four, obviously, but more than Oliver Bjorkstrand for sure. I have him getting 16 power play points, but tons of even strength points, and yeah, I like him in the 50 range this year.
Yeah, when I look at the ADPs, I see like a guy like Aho going 10 picks later or like 15 picks later. I don't get it. I see even Robert Thomas, right? Like going 25 picks later, who's going to be the guy that's getting the most ice time in the power play. Nico Hischier and Dylan Larkin may have bigger like spike weeks, like 4-point games. We're going to have the power play points. Kevin Fiala is like, obviously me and you both agree on this. Like, I think Kevin Fiala is going to have some insane spike weeks in this format. And I think he could be just as good as Hagel going 40 picks later. So it might have to do with just the level of value I find at forward later, which makes me hesitant to grab Hagel. But I do recognize the case of him being an even strike monster. Like Hagel's a dog, man. Like I love watching Hagel. I'm a Canadian too, so like big fan of him last year in the Four Nations. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Whoa, Lacombe at 67.
Oof. This guy, he also took Boldy at 19.
He's reaching on his guys.
Yeah.
You got to take your guys, man. I feel like this is kind of good value for Ovi, maybe. I really don't like Ovi, but I'll take him. You also, I saw that. Yeah, that's a good spot. I saw the video again, like I said, with you and Nate. You're not a big Lacombe guy?
Yeah, I'm just like unconvinced that he's one of the best offensive guys in the league, which is what he needs to be to get, anywhere in the 55-point range. So I really like him. I think he's going to start on power play 1, but Anaheim as a whole, I have them more of like a split power play. Who knows? Like, new coach, who knows what they do, but I'm just not convinced of Jackson Lacombe anywhere above like pick 100 or pick 90.
Yeah, I agree. I think also in this format, no hits. So I haven't really drafted a lot of them. But if I was in a cast league, I think he might actually be decent value.
Well, the blocks is where he provides lots of blocks, which is great.
Right. But he has it all potentially. He might have all shots, hits, and blocks, like 100 hits, 160 shots, and then maybe like 200 blocks too, which would be pretty nice.
200, yeesh.
Well, I looked at hold on. I'll take Larkin here. I was looking at his numbers in his first year when he was only getting 19 minutes a game. It was such a small sample size.
Yeah.
But he had 129 blocks in 71 games with only 19 minutes in 23-24. And then he had 129 blocks last year getting 22 minutes. So either it was unsustainable or maybe we're going to see higher numbers. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that first year with the 71 games was a bit unsustainable. And
right.
And as he increased his role into like the top defender on the team, he was maybe put out less in the defensive zones, less, and especially with they have Gudis and Truba to just like take those defensive zone minutes away. So I think Lacombe has flourished into a nice top defender offensively, where Gudis and Truba can handle all those blocks in the defensive zone.
Yeah, that's fair. What I wanted to ask you about is another player I'm definitely a big fan of, and I think he definitely has a lot of upside. That player is Kirill Marchenko. What are your thoughts on Marchenko?
Yeah, I love the player. I think he has so much talent, and like that line last year was just killer of him, Monahan, and Voronkov, and yeah, tons of upside. I think in like these drafts, I haven't gotten a lot of him just because I do have projected a little lower. So I don't I like the upside, but I think the most likely outcome is like he gets what do I projected for? Let me take a look. Yeah, 67 points, which it's just not gonna make this a league winner in my mind. But I
Oh, that
do
hurts,
I do
man.
think the upside's there.
I just like watching him play. He's just so
Oh yeah,
good.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I think the upside case for Marchenko is the power play. If we see the power play improve significantly, because I think he only had like 2 power play goals last year versus like 9 in the 2 seasons prior. So yeah, I don't know if we see him get to like 10 power play goals and like 30 power play points. Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
the talent's there. Monahan is good. Fantilli, if Fantilli is the player that a lot of people think he is, they could potentially play on a line together at some point. And you also have a world class defenseman in Zach Werenski as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like I love Columbus. I just think there's a lot to love, a lot of players to love in Columbus, and that limits Marchenko being used as like this top end guy.
Yeah, I liked his ice time. Nice, you get your boy.
Had
Um, I guess I'll get your boy if it's done. I
nice.
think I do see Ken Johnson on the third line in camp, which is interesting. Chinikov's on the second line, but some people are suggesting maybe this might be because they want to use him as trade bait. But if Chinikov's healthy, that is kind of an issue, like you said, like sort of spreading the wealth around in terms of ice time.
Yeah. Where did they really have some lines released? Like I've been trying to scroll through like game day lines, but haven't seen Columbus.
Yeah, I don't know why on Daily Faceoff they have Ivan Provorov on the first line. Maybe that's just a mistake here. Maybe I don't know what Voronkov's saying.
Hmm.
Uh,
They have Provorov as a left wing.
I think it's just like they made a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a look here. Yeah, they had. I think they have Ronkov, Monahan, Marchenko first line, and then they had Fantilli, Boonjenner, and Chinikov second line, and they moved Ken Johnson to the third line with Charlie Coyle and Zach Aston Reese.
Don't love that.
No, there's been a couple of things that we don't love in training camp, like the Jamie Benn thing I mentioned.
Yeah.
Was there anything else in training camp that you saw that really stood out to you?
Um, just like that weird New Jersey practice where they said that Dawson Mercer was power play one. I ended up tweeting about it, being like, "Uh-oh," for Timo Meyer, and then a minute later they tweeted, never," and Meyer gets in there in place of Dawson Mercer, and they switched things up. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess they're just trying some things. I gotta stop overreacting." But yeah, I like, I just don't understand not putting Timo Meyer on that top power play. But last year he was shunned. What are your thoughts on Meyer?
Yeah, I talked about this earlier in the stream, but what's interesting about that camp, what they did in camp is they never had Nico Heischer net front at all. Like they never experimented with that. They only had Meyer on that right circle when Jack Hughes was injured. And the only other time they had him on power play one was net front, which they didn't like. They said it themselves.
Yeah.
So I actually think this might be promising if they do decide to keep him power play one with Nason out. You move. It could hurt Nico Hischier though, right? Because he was pretty deadly in that bumper last year on the power play. But also, like, how long is Stefan Nason going to be out for? Like, is it? We don't know. It says he's going to miss time. Is it going to be a week? Is it going to be a month? Is it going to be multiple months? I hate the lack of transparency in the NHL. I feel like you don't see that in the NFL. But yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Meier. He's been literally one of my favorite players. Like when I started playing fantasy in 2020, Meier was on my team, and that was the year where he had 5 goals in a game. And
Oh
I
yeah.
remember
Was
I
that the
remember
year
that day very vividly.
Yeah. Was that the year he had like over 70 points and like 300 shots and 150 hits?
Yeah. And my league counted shots and hits pretty heavily. So like he was like my favorite fantasy player. I told everyone to draft him last year as well, and I'm sure a lot of people don't watch my content now because he was so bad. So yeah, I still believe the upside is there, but he needs power play deployment. Like he has such a wicked one timer from that right side.
Yeah, for sure. I'm I was looking for 3 players and they're all gone. So I'm like, now I'm gonna have to
You
reach
gotta
a
check
little
my
bit.
take a check. You love getting
I was
Fantilli,
looking,
eh?
yeah. I was looking for Nichushkin, and then I was looking for Zibanejad, and then I was looking for Cooley, and they all were gone in the 90s.
You know what? We're gonna go Timo Meyer on in the spirit of him from the Sharks.
Yeah, I don't love that because I was hoping to get Meyer next round because I've seen him go in like the last round of things, but I have Meyer on one Makar Hughes team already, so it's okay.
Yeah, I think I have Luke Hughes here, so I kind of said, oh, maybe I'll pair him with him.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Luke Hughes versus Dougie Hamilton conversation? Because this is one that I have a pretty strong stance on.
Yeah, I have a pretty strong stance that by the end of the season or the second half of the season, it's going to be Luke Hughes for sure.
Right.
And yeah, just like, especially if he signs an 8-year deal and like he's their future, I think he's very talented. And Dougie Hamilton just has like, he's pretty one-dimensional on the power play, but it's great on the power play. He just fires bombs and it works. But I think Luke Hughes has a lot more talent, and I see him there to end the season. What about you?
I think he's going to be there at day one.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. And I think a reason I say that as well is, again, this is just Jack is obviously going to say this. He's his brother. Keefe is the guy that makes the choice. But literally in a recent interview, they asked him about Luke. And the first thing that he said was, hopefully Luke can come in and be on power play one from day one. That's super important for him because he's got so much upside. And when we do give him these things that all the other number one Ds around the league get, we get a great return. So, and he went on to talk about this as well. So I was like, ooh,
I gotta look that up. That's interesting.
yeah, I'll send you it.
Nice.
Okay. Shoot. Slim pickings here now. Oh, I have no one to stack with, man. Oh, I guess I could have went Duro Fief. That's fine. Yeah, I'll send you the image of that on Discord. Again, it's his brother, so I'm sure he wants to be on the power play with him.
Yep.
But he stepped up quite a bit, I will say. When Dougie went out, he was pretty awesome on that top unit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when I was doing my projections, I got real excited and gave Luke Hughes like all the power play time, and then I had to be like, okay, hold on, it might be a little bit of Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah, I hope it's not, man. But I might be biased because I drafted a lot of Dougie last year and the year before. I think every year on Drafters I've been Dougie, and every year he's sucked. Maybe not the first year. He was pretty good on New Jersey, right? When he had 74 points and 22 goals in 82 games, but yeah, the year after only played 20 games, and then last year, he gets injured again.
Yeah, those injuries.
Sometimes when you get burned by a player, you get a little sour in terms of the next season, but you want to try to stay biased and impartial.
Yeah,
or non-partial.
I feel that. I feel that for Jack Hughes. I feel like I've drafted a lot of Jack Hughes, and he crashes into the boards every season.
Yeah. Did you see it? The reporter asked him about this, and Jack snapped back, and he was like, "You just keep asking the same question."
Oh, about his injuries?
Yeah, Jack is so sassy to the freaking reporters, man. It's so funny.
Nice. He would do well in Toronto, I think.
Are you Ontario guy? Are you Leafs fan?
Yes, I am a Leafs fan.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. How about you?
I don't like the Leafs. I am from Ontario, but not a Leafs guy.
Do you have a team?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Where is he? There we go. Got
Man, all of these. Some of these guys in here are sniping me too hard. I was like searching. I was like, okay, I can go Gabe Landeskog in the last second last round, and then no, he was taken 4 rounds ago. Okay.
I like Patrick Kane a lot in these later rounds.
Yeah, I like him too, but only on teams that I have DeBrincat, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess yeah. They normally play even strength, or do they mix it up sometimes?
No, they're pretty. I mean, last year they were pretty locked in to Kane DeBrincat as like a pair, and then Larkin and Raymond as a pair. Everyone on the power play, of course, but yeah.
I have the Hellebuck Shesterkin stack right now. Do you want to let me know about those two? Do you have information on those two in terms of the games?
Yeah, I can let you know. I got to make my pick, but
I could go Logan Thompson here. Feels like crazy value.
They're pretty mid as a pair. Not bad. Not bad.
I'll go LT.
I just got a 12 forward team. Look at that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Vasi and Wolf. Okay.
To be honest, it's not my favorite team. I was sniped a lot, but I'm happy with those 4D, and Vasi Wolf is a good schedule combo.
Interesting. Yeah, I gotta make one of those for myself to look at the schedule. I've not been doing that. I'm up against some freaking Sharks in this format, I guess.
Yeah.
I wanted to say as well, like, no, I don't have a team. I was a Canucks fan growing up when I was a kid, and I watched every freaking game. I was on the Canucks forums arguing with people like 12 years older than me when I was 13, and just like causing a ruckus in there. And are you down to do another draft, by the way?
Yeah, I'll do one more.
Okay,
do we have room in there?
Yeah. One more. Can you get in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like addicted to these.
Yeah. This will be the last one. But yeah, I stopped watching hockey for I think I watched hockey. They obviously lost the cup to the Bruins. And then I watched for a couple more years, and then I stopped watching hockey. I got into basketball. And then, yeah, I didn't watch hockey for 7 years. And then my buddies during COVID said, hey, we want to do fantasy hockey. And I was like, okay, I guess. I don't really like hockey anymore. And now I'm freaking making...
got super into it.
Yeah, I started sending them texts at 4 a.m, giving them the best trade offers possible. And I was like, this trade is better for you than it is for me, man. And yeah, that's it. I know you mentioned you started doing fantasy hockey since you had a computer. How long have you been doing that?
Yeah, we used to in, I think grade 8 was our first, me and my buddies, our first fantasy hockey league draft. And it was just in person, and we did everything on paper, and then we just looked up the stats at the end of the year. So yeah, definitely a long time ago. Yeah. No, I think we did have computers back then. I just don't know if like there were these online platforms that like, yeah, I don't know if they really did stuff back then.
Yeah, like my dad told me I think he might have done a fantasy hockey pool when he was in his 20s, and they would have to print off all the stats and do all that shit, and it just it's funny thinking about that, man. The amount of work that it would be, and probably like there was no like, oh, let's look at the guys with the best shot sets and blogs. There was none of that.
No, it was strictly points. Yeah. So at
That's
this, sorry, I'm like looking at my teams here, and I think at the number one, when I get the number one, because McDavid just seems to be going number one, like I haven't been able to get him at the 2 spot a lot. Like if I get number one pick, I have to just take McDavid.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, oh shit, I thought you were mixing things up. I thought I was gonna get McDavid there.
No. Yeah, I think I've just seen McKinnon go too in like almost every draft, so I'll just wait for those 2 spots to get McKinnon.
I wanted to ask you about, you mentioned betting. Are there any bets that you're like, yeah, like this is the one? Like what's your because I think I'm in the Apples and Genos Discord, and I've seen, I don't know if this is you, but you've done like the spreadsheets of the bets. Is that you that's doing that?
Yeah, I used to post a lot in there. Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of betting content. Like I'll post on Twitter, writing for Dauber, and I'm actually gonna start posting some YouTube shorts on some like betting content in season. But I'm like hardcore into NHL betting. Almost every game. Like I'm
Wow.
looking into almost every game and looking at the
Okay.
odds. And I usually have a bet on every game if I have the time that day.
Okay, well, great. I love that. I guess I have a few questions for you then.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
who's winning the Stanley Cup this year? What's I guess you're probably looking at more so value when it comes to bets, but do you have any hot takes on that?
Yeah, no, it's all value. It's all
True.
you're looking at the odds and you're saying, okay, well, what do I have projected and what do I think is going to happen compared to what the books are saying? And there needs to be a discrepancy there for me to take that bet. If there's not a discrepancy, then you're just doing it for fun. And I
Right.
do it for fun. It's fun, but I need that value. So yeah,
Oh,
who you wanted Wierenski there?
yeah, I feel like that's a rare team to get. I don't see him going past 14 very
Yeah,
much. God
he
damn
was
it.
like at the start, like those early drafts.
I know, and I didn't grab him then.
Mm.
Okay, we'll go Darlene. I always end up going to defenseman here because the value from like Rantanen to like Philip Forsberg is pretty similar, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you there. I really like all those top 5D in the second round or top 4D. I'm like forced into taking Marner on most of my McDavid teams, but I just have
Same.
him higher than most of these other players. I'll go Reinhardt.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm just browsing through some of my like season longs I've placed so far. When I talk about like I need to see the value. I did take advantage of a couple errors on the books. Like they had Celebrini and Michkov 50 plus points. They had it like incorrect, to be
Oh.
honest. So I had a bunch down on those, but that's just an example of like I'm looking for that value, and then I'm really hammering those bets. But those are rarities. So just like your average bets, we have Paterka.
Sorry, did they void that?
No, and to be honest, I don't think they will because I don't think it's such an obvious mistake, and I don't know. We'll see. Um,
Like,
they have
was
like
there
these.
a limit on that? Like, were you able to put a bunch on that, or?
I'm somewhat limited, so I put. I won't get into my unit size, but I was able to put 20 units. 20 units on Celebrini at minus
Oh
260 to
my
get 50
freaking
plus
god!
points.
Oh, you're limited on the books. Like you're a freaking sharp guy then.
They only bet. They only well, FanDuel only lets me bet 20 of my units on one bet. But yeah,
Yeah,
like
you know
bet
you're a good
99.
bet when they start freaking limiting you.
Yeah, bet 99. I was crushing some of those like same game point parlays. Like you pair up Huberdeau and Kadri, and they had better odds than like DraftKings or Bet 365. So bet 99, I was really crushing those, and now I'm only allowed to bet $1 on bet 99, which is unfortunate.
No,
Yeah,
no,
if you
man.
win all at once, it's not good.
It's kind
But
of it's bullshit that
yeah,
they can just do that.
yeah. I mean, it's like if I'm asking you for bets, like I can be like, no, I don't accept it. Like I see it. It's just it's predatory, and
Yeah.
it is a predatory industry, and I want to do my best to take money from them.
I thought I was gonna get Fox there, but freaking reach 10 picks later or 10 picks earlier.
But yeah, some of my like nice picks I like this year. Paterka, his line was 72.5 points, so I have 2 units on that under. That was
Wow.
way too high.
Is that still the same line?
I checked yesterday, and Bet365 took that down, I believe.
That's
So I'm
insane,
sorry.
dude.
I'm sorry, y'all. But I like Kent Johnson, 20 plus goals was plus 500. Really liked that. And I actually really like Kaprizov, 110 plus points at plus 550. These are just some examples, but yeah, I'm on a whole bunch. I have like I have 100 and no, I have 200 lines on this sheet of my season long bets, so I won't go through them all. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, the best one last year, maybe not the best one, but one that I saw on Drafters because they do pick'ems, right? Like Matthias Michelli's line was the same as Gunther's, and like that was just like the easiest money ever. I was just like, yeah, over Gunther, under Michelli.
Yeah,
I wish I put
for
more,
sure.
as every gambler says, but yeah, I'll be interested to see some of those pick'ems on Drafters this year.
Yeah, Michelli, like
Ooh.
I had 2 units on him to get under 20 and a half goals last year, and that was like super easy, I think. But yeah, most of mine are 1 to 2 units. That 20 unit Celebrini bet is just because like it's a definite error, and if they don't void it, I want to make sure I get maximum value there.
Are you buying in on the Matthias Michelli hype? Is he going to replace the 102 points for Marner?
I'm maybe at even strength I'm buying in, but he won't get any power play time, even if he's gelling well with Matthews. I just don't see him getting on the power play at all.
Yeah, he'll be fine, but like, there's no way
Yeah, I like his skill set.
he's power
Like,
play one. He was really good for like 2 years on like his points versus like the minutes he was getting was actually very, very impressive.
yeah, and then he got scratched quite a bit.
Yeah, very strange. How do you feel about Brady Kachuk? Because obviously, like, this league doesn't count hits, and he was going way higher at the start. I think because the rankings that they had, I think they took it from Underdog. I think they just took the ADP from Underdog and did it, or they made their own rankings. I'm not too sure.
I think they made their own, just like based
Mm,
on some of those wild things that first day. I
right,
think they just put out their own.
that's fair. I just noticed certain ones were like exact. Like Hagel was the exact same, but yeah,
Oh,
that could have
interesting.
just been a coincidence. But yeah, like where would you feel comfortable taking Kachuk? Because there is that scenario where he does go back to scoring 40 goals and has 350 shots, right?
Yeah, I think like if you're high on Ottawa to take another step this year, that's that scenario to happen. I'm not that high on Ottawa to like. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. I think they're gonna be a great offensive team, um, and I think Brady is going to just be third to first in shots on goal in the
Yeah.
season. So I like him there, but even his ceiling, like it's 40 goals, it's 80 points, unless he has something there that we haven't seen yet. So I
Yeah.
think he's being drafted like at his ceiling. So
Mm,
I'm not drafting him too much here. I'm drafting him a bit in round 5 when he's falling, but he's just a player I haven't been on board for.
what about Lane Hudson?
Oof, Lane Hudson. I think I have one Lane Hudson.
Oh boy.
How about you? Are you high on him?
I have 6%.
Oh, that's not a lot.
Yeah, it's not. I wish I had Jake Sanderson with this team.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm
Defensemen
high
are.
on Sanderson.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah.
His shot, like near the end of last season, he was shooting like crazy, and his blocks are really good too. Like in a redraft league as well, especially like where his ADP is going. I'm such a big fan. You're stacking up on forwards here, eh? Harley,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just all the D got sniped.
Oh,
I
dude,
will take Harley.
Barkov's just sitting here. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Barkov also, like, in my mind, those first 2 days of these drafters drafts, he was going crazy late. Barkov, like I saw him go 86 in one draft. Not a draft I was in. Someone posted it, and I'm like, oh my god, is Barkov there? Like, but now Barkov doesn't go past like 55.
It's funny because like I saw some of that, but not as egregious. That was actually a thing last year. Barkov's ADP at the start was like 90, and I picked him literally every time. But then it sort of normalized where he's kind of went around this range, and I still think he's good value, so I'm fine to take him.
Yep.
What I wanted to ask you is Harley versus Heiskanen. Like I've been mixing exposures with them because I know like once we get training camp news, one of these guys is going to shoot up, and I'm going to get a lot of value. What are you doing with that approach with them, and also what are you thinking with that power play?
Yeah, I'm definitely overexposed to Thomas Harley,
Mm,
like more than I want to be, but I just do think he's gonna get that top power play spot. I think I I don't think Heiskanen is the guy there anymore. Like he's Heiskanen supposedly back to full health, and it could happen. They could just put him there, but Harley just had so much success and is younger and is blossoming. And I maybe it's a hope. Maybe I'm hoping that they use him there because of how much I've been high on Harley. So uh, yeah, definitely on the Harley train this year.
yeah, I'm a big fan of Harley. Obviously, like I recognize the upside, right? Like there's going to be higher upside for Harley in fantasy than Heiskanen. Um, I worry it's going to be Heiskanen. I'm drafting both. Like I think I have 17% Harley. You know what? We have Chikrin. We might as well get Ovi. I have 17% Harley and then 20% Heiskanen just because one of these guys, well, maybe they both don't hit. Maybe someone gets injured or they start mixing up the units, but one of them could be like the best defenseman value that you're getting this year. But yeah, I think my concern is like you have, if the power play, if they're doing a dedicated first unit with Rant and Robertson on the flanks, like, do you really need Harley there to shoot? You know, like Heiskanen is a more safe pick as well. Like I don't know if you watched any of the playoff games last year, but I think
Yeah.
Harley gave up like two shorthanded goals. You know, he's a little more risky on that blue line. So I mean, there's a bunch of reasons, but yeah, I would be scared a little bit to be too overexposed to him.
Yeah, I do just think that Harley, like if it's confirmed, let's say tomorrow we get training camp and Harley's on that top power play, I think his ADP is gonna go like right up to where Morrissey is, to be honest. So
Yes,
like, but again, if it's the
but if
other
he
side,
doesn't, yeah,
yeah, it's one of these risky boomer bust picks before we know anything.
and then it's like Hastings should be going above Lane Hudson if we find out it's Heiskanen power play one.
Yeah, and above Harley, like obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's more up, at least in terms of ADP right now. There's more upside with Heiskanen because
With
yeah,
Harley too, like he can score goals. So that's I love it for
right,
drafters. I love these defenders who can score goals, rather than the Heiskanen who his spike weeks are going to be because of maybe 5 assists in a week, and
right.
Harley's spike weeks are going to be because maybe 3 goals and 1 assist. Um, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he could be sort of the new Zach Rowinski, although I don't think anyone's going to be the new Zach Rowinski in a couple of years.
yeah. I think for drafters, the new Zach Rowensky might be a forward this year. It's just going to be that guy in round 8 or round 9 or round 10. He's going to be one of the best.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Mika Zibanejad. That would be
I think
pretty
it could
nice.
be Matvey Michkov, to be honest.
He's still going too high for my liking. Like, what's his ADP
Yeah,
right now?
I think
60?
67.
I don't know. I mean, he was really good near the end of last season, but he's just
I
so
just think
young on a shitty team.
Tort's gone. Like let him free.
I
Free
know.
Michkov.
I guess he did like really only get like 16 minutes, and he was also like, I think there was like a 27 game stretch where he only had like 3 points in like December, January of last year. So
Yeah.
I recognize the
One
upside.
one fun bet I took this year. DraftKings has a shot on goal survivor bet, which I wouldn't really recommend taking, but you win it if they have at least one shot on goal in every game played. Um, and
Nice.
Michkov was plus 8,000. And I was really going through his game logs in the second half of last year, and I think he had one game where we had no shots on goal. So I did take him there, but I think every bet is going to lose on there, so I wouldn't necessarily take those.
Yeah, I think with Michkov is I last year was a year where I was like really high in Bedard. I think just I think that's just inexperience for me. I'm learning more every year. And just understanding that these like 19, 20-year-old guys like don't typically produce at this elite level. So I think for me that's where I'm kind of at that point with some of those guys, especially on like Philly where it's like who's the 1C? Uh Zegras or Couturier? Like that's a little concerning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Michkov, like he's his own player. He's going to be the one driving the play.
Right.
And I think the ice time's going to go way up. I think he's going to be free to do more with the puck. Did you ever see? He has a funny little clip where he's talking about dumping the puck in. He's like, "I
Yeah.
come to North America," and they like dump the puck in to go fight for the puck back. And it's like, what?
Right.
Why lose possession?
Yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah.
I don't think Talkit likes that.
Yeah, Talkit is like that's the thing. Talkit's almost similar to Torts, but I still think I think he'll utilize Michkov better.
Yeah, way more personable though. I don't know if you saw this quote, but I think Sean Couturier said this. He was like, "Yeah, like me and Talkit have talked more in like the last month than like me and Torts did for a full 2 years or whatever.
Huh?
Like in terms of one-on-one chats." Um, and it just goes to show that like Torts' way of coaching is done. Like you got to treat these guys like on a one-to-one basis individually. And yeah, I
Yeah.
have a pretty negative opinion on Torts as a coach. But yeah, I think that could be big with him gone, right? Way more offensive potential.
Yeah. I think Torts would be a good OHL coach or college coach. Just like
Maybe.
maybe like just teaching kids hard ways to play, and then
Right, right.
once they blossom into what they become, that's where you that's where he's a bad coach, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, my forwards are kind of lacking here.
Yeah.
I know you
You're
want. I
not
know
gonna
you want.
take
I know you want Konechny here, don't you?
you're not gonna take Montour.
No, I think my defense is set. I'm sorry. I have to do this.
Nice.
If my forwards are not good, I'm just gonna grab Zibanejad. Like I think Zibanejad could be. I'm just looking at some of these guys. Let me get Nichushkin as well. I think Zibanejad could be as good as Nick Suzuki. He could be as good as Tim Stusla. He can be as good as Elias Pettersson, Seth Jarvis, Brandon Hagel, Connor Bedard, Lucas Raymond, Kirill Marchenko, Matvey Michkov, Nikolai Ehlers. Like, I don't know. I just look I understand some of the advanced stats don't look great, and the shot volume has gone down considerably over the last couple of years. But if him and Miller are connecting like they did in the 33 games last year that they played with each other, and this power play gets back to not being bottom five in the NHL, like he could be so good, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna actually. You'll be conflicted at this because I haven't projected for more. Oh no, sorry. I thought I did. That was the wrong line. I haven't projected similar to Rob Thomas in fantasy points per game.
Right.
Like I have Rob Thomas getting 79 points this year as like a pretty low projection, to be honest. I have their power play as a split power play, so
Right.
that's really
Right.
holding them down. Just 20 power play points, so I think there's a lot more room of upside for Thomas for my projection. But yeah, I have Zibanejad for 70 points, and yeah, it's just like how much exposure is too much.
Don't mention it, man. I'm gonna go look. Did it go up a percent? It's at 47%, and then 35% Kevin Fiala. So Zibanejad is like way above everyone else. I just look at him. He had 20 power play goals 2 years ago, guys. 20 power play goals. He's literally top five in power play goals in the last 7 years in the NHL. And somebody on Twitter, I think this may have been another fantasy hockey content creator or somebody who has a fantasy hockey account, was like, I think they were going to take Zibanejad off. I was like, really? You're going to take one of the best power play goal scorers in the NHL off the power play? Is that what you're going to do?
For who? Laugh? Like,
Yeah. I also said in my power play video that I thought Laugh was going to be power play one over Trocheck, but it's clear that's not going to be the case. Did you see what was going on with this power play?
yeah, I mean, Panarin was missing, right? So
Yeah, they had Laugh
that
filling in
was,
for a Panarin spot.
yeah, yeah. I think the power, like, I don't think Laugh is getting on the power play one. It's like
Yeah,
Trocheck's role is just like too solidified there, I think.
he makes some good points. um, I just thought, Miller and Zibanejad can take the face-off duties, and the power play was bad last year, so maybe you put Laugh on there to try to spark things. But also, like Trocheck is been really good on the power play in that bumper roll, and he's even better at face-offs than Miller. And I think him and Miller are like BFFs as well. Like sometimes you got to think a little bit deeper as well. They're like best friends. So
Yep.
yeah. Okay. For Haggy sitting here, but I can't just go with all of the guys I draft every time. Oh shoot, what am I doing? I have Stützle and Kachuk.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Although, so I have a question for you. Because and maybe it's like, maybe I don't need to, but when I stack, I don't like reaching for players like really like around before their ADP just to complete the stack. I think stacks are important, but I think when you take them around earlier than they're going, rather than like waiting for them to fall and just hoping, since we're doing so many drafts, like I'll just wait for those opportunities to stack. So like the Zibanejad, Batherson, like I've seen them go a lot later. And if I'm stacking with Panarin or stacking with Kachuk and Stützle, like I would probably be like, okay, I mean, it's kind of a moot point here because we're so late in the draft, so it matters less. But maybe earlier in the draft, like forcing the Braden Point earlier than I want to, or maybe taking Willie Nylander to pair with Matthews in the second round. Like I'm just not doing that. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, what you're saying makes sense, right? Like you shouldn't be reaching on players too high, because there's going to be teams that didn't reach and got those same stacks. So yeah, I don't know. I also just think a lot of people drafting are not stacking. I think I see a lot of teams and they're not very good, and I just think the competition in this contest, there's a lot of really good guys like you, but there's also a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. Like me, my first year, where I was taking four goalies because I didn't know the contest and the rules.
Yeah.
So if I can reach a little bit on a stack where I'm like, okay, I like my team, then that's what I like to do.
Yeah, like for like Kucherov Point, I think I have two teams with Kucherov Point where Point went to me in the fourth round. So now I'm just like, well, if I take point in the third round to pair with Kucherov, it probably won't be as good as those other teams that have point in the fourth round. And it's making me, avoid those stacks to take point in the third round.
Right. I'm thinking of Landeskog. I haven't really taken a lot. They're running a Natchez, Nichushkin, McKinnon first line, but I'm sure that could change. But that excites me quite a bit. But this power play is what's really scaring me. You saw the Victor Olofsson stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That terrifies me.
Again, I think they're just trying things out. All these teams, they need to see what they have. Maybe every time I'm disappointed, maybe it's just myself being like, okay, it's not permanent.
Yeah, but it's interesting because McKinnon's usually on the left side, right, on this power play.
Yeah.
So
Aside from, I posted on Twitter, he's running in circles, right?
yeah. I thought maybe, well, I know that's McKinnon's spot, but I feel like Natchez would be better there for one timers. I don't know.
So I think last year they did have Natchez like lower on that end from McKinnon. Then when McKinnon starts to circle, Natchez comes up, and then they were finding Natchez for slappers there quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement going on in that power play.
Yeah.
But I think last year, I think they had Landeskog in the bumper, and then they had Lehkonen net front in the playoffs. So maybe they'll do that, but obviously a big concern is if they do decide to do Olofsson on this power play, then it's like you're only having one of Nichushkin, Lehkonen, and Landeskog on this power play. Like two of those guys are going to get crushed. And I guess I'm just fearful because I've drafted a lot of Nichushkin.
Yeah. I'm more fearful of Nichushkin not playing a full season and getting into some trouble.
That's a rational that's a rational fear as well. It's definitely in the fears surrounding him. But if he hits, man, he's gonna hit.
Yeah, for sure.
I also wanted to mention as well to your point about training camp is this one really burned me last year. I was like, yeah, Hannafin's for sure gonna be on power play one. He was power play one in the playoffs all throughout training camp, and then literally the last 3 days of camp, they're like, oh yeah, Theodore's on it now, and that's what it's gonna be. So yeah, things can change, and we're going to be surprised, I'm sure, what goes down.
Do you think a 5-forward power play will be tried this year on Vegas?
Oh God, that's another big question. Hold on, am I really going to grab Tony D'Angelo here?
Oh no, he's go for it. He's in my queue.
I haven't drafted a one share of him. Screw it.
Nice.
We went the two goalie team here, actually, which is maybe not the right call, but oh well.
Oh, you could have got Shabbat and really gone with your Senators there.
Oh, you're so right. What if Sanderson goes down?
Yeah, could we? Never mind. If you have Sanderson, I don't know if that's the right move. Oh no,
no, I didn't have Sanderson, but I'm saying, what if Sanderson gets injured, right?
Yeah.
You might want.
We make trades.
I'm not. Yeah, no, I wish. But yeah, I'm not really drafting thinking about injuries like that. I feel like that's just like a way to lose a bunch of money. But yeah, we're gonna end here. But before we end, I guess we'll just talk about this Vegas power play. That is something that is so interesting, right? Like, do they run Marner on the point? Do they run Marner in the bumper on the wall? Do you have strong thoughts on this? Because I think it could go either way. I just don't think Hurdle's getting taken off.
Yeah, I don't have strong thoughts on it. I do think Theodore is so talented offensively, and there's not a good reason to do it. In Toronto, Riley has not had so much success on the power play in years past, and that was a big reason to do it. I think on Vegas, Theodore has had a lot of success and is great on the power play, and maybe they try it, but I think they'll lean towards using Theodore.
Yeah, I hope so too, because I have pretty high exposure to Theodore. He's 25% right now. But you do have to worry about Noah Hannafin's not the most high caliber offensive defenseman, and somehow he won power play one over him. And I think as well for me, Hurdle was one of the best bumper players in the NHL last year. He was literally deadly from that spot. So if you want to move Marner away, if you want to move Marner in the bumper, and then you got to move Hurdle net front, and then that sort of takes Hurdle from his like prime spot. And then if you want to take Dorofeev off to keep Hurdle in the bumper, that really hurts Dorofeev too. I have a lot of exposure to both Dorofeev and Theodore because one of them sure is going to be on that power play, right?
Yeah, I think they'll make it work with both. I think, to be honest, I have Mark Stone like possibly getting bumped, but
that's what my expectation is.
Yeah,
like Marner and Stone are kind of similar players, right? Like, do you need them both on the power play? Like, that doesn't make too much sense.
yeah, I think like Eichel could be more that down low guy and Marner on the flank. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting these next couple of days. I'm gonna try not to overreact and just play it cool. But listen, I appreciate you coming on, dude. It was fun. Talking to somebody that is as addicted to these drafts as I am. Do you want to plug your stuff here before we go?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And yeah, like I had a blast. I love drafting and love talking hockey. So thanks for having me on. If you want to find me at TopCheddar on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, or TopCheddar Fantasy on YouTube. I'll be posting shorts soon. You'll see there's nothing on that YouTube channel at the moment, but feel free to subscribe and you'll get those videos. And yeah, I do offer my projections on X or Twitter. You'll find them. You'll find how to get them. You can always DM me if you have questions.
Awesome, man. And if I'm going to be doing streams, and if you want to ever come on and just talk while we're doing these drafts, because we're going to max it out. Yeah, let me know. I'll definitely reach out.
Right on. All right. Have a good one.
You too, man. Take care. All right, boys. That was fun, man. Ryan, he's a good guy. He knows his stuff. Make sure you follow him on Twitter and all that stuff. I think we are going to end here. We've been doing a lot of drafts. Did some good teams. In terms of some of these comments, I don't know if anyone was commenting anything. Matt Barzell. Yeah, Barzell could be good on some certain platforms. I think Yahoo was going pretty late. I have some concerns about the injury that he had. He actually had like an interview where he was like, yeah, I'm not 100%, but we're managing, it was a little bit concerning to me, but I think his value is pretty nice. But yeah, that's it, boys. Make sure you guys hit the like on the stream. That would really helps out the algorithm and all that shit. Hit that subscribe button. And yeah, use code FIREDUP on Drafters if you guys want to do these best ball drafts for, $10,000 for the first place team. There's also going to be pick'ems as well. Oh, shoot. They opened up. They actually opened up. Maybe let's just take a real quick peek at this if you guys are interested. There could be some really good value here. Tage Thompson, 38.5. By the way, boys, you get 100% match deposit up to $100 in bonus funds. You could use them on these. Maybe we'll cook something up real quick here. Let's put some music on. Okay. Destin Wolf, 26.5 wins. Same as Lucas Dostal, guys. Or one more than Lucas Dostal. Something to think about. Bedard, 70.5 points. That's tough scenes. Orwinski, 68.5. Martin H is 73.5. I feel like that's pretty good value. Hold on, let me move this. Maybe I go up here. Yeah, that works. Okay. Natchez, that looks pretty good. Robo, 80.5. Interesting that Wyatt Johnson is projected to get more points than Natchez here. Stuart Skinner, guys, 29.5, by the way, for all of you that are fading Stuart Skinner. Yeah, Philip, it's available in all of Canada, including Ontario. It's literally one of the only best ball platforms available in Ontario. So yeah, it's available, man. Marchand at 54.5. Wow. Sam Runner at 35 is pretty good. Might throw it in there. Boldy at 72.5. I also really like if you can just stay healthy. Demidov at 58.5, guys. Scotty, yeah. You're going to get to 25 and you're going to get that itch and you're going to be like, maybe a couple more. Wow, Lane Hudson, 65.5. That's an aggressive freaking point total. Part of me wants to take that under, to be honest. Jack Hughes, 80.5? Bro. Hold on. Yeah, I'll take the over. That's a lock if he can stay healthy. Okay, but we're actually going to cook something up here real quick. Okay. Brady at 64.5. I mean, I get it, but the disrespect is insane. We're taking that. Celebrini, guys. Celebrini, the guy that's going 29th on Drafters, is his line is 67.5. Wow, Kairos is terrible. Whoa, Jake Gensel? Why is that so low? I guess if he misses some games, he's kind of a band-aid. $92.5 for Mitchell Marner. Whoa, 16.5 for Ovi. All right. I think we really like these three right here. Natchez. Yeah, that's not a bad play either. That's an interesting play. I think he's going to be on the power play one. Interesting. We'll make something here. You guys can tail if you want. Natchez at 73.5. Hughes at 80.5. Kachuk at 64.5. Maybe a little more than that. Maybe like 30. Even Zegras is interesting. Let's say Zegras is line one with Michkov and power play one. I mean, guys, he was on the cover of NHL 23. He's got to be a big superstar, right? Okay. I mean, we could just go crazy with Zegras here. All right. You know what? That's what we'll do. We'll do Natchez over, Jack Hughes over, Kachuk over, Zegras over. And we'll put $30 on it. That's pretty good. Some good ka-ching. All right, that was fun. I'll make a video on this as well as we get closer to the year. But yeah, that's going to be the stream, boys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Also, we're going to be streaming in the next few days with Blake Creamer, the legend himself from Apples and Genos. Me might be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, depending on his schedule. He is West Coast, so we got to work that out. But stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for a sleeper video coming up in the next 2-ish days. That's going to be a big one. And yeah, hope you guys have a good night. I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.